Hey everybody, it's Lon.TV, and the folks from iOttie sent me their Easy Flex 3 to review, and this is a little suction cup dashboard mount for your phone. It'll support any phone up to about 3 inches in width, so basically the Galaxy S4 is pretty much the limit to what you can put in this thing. But let's take a closer look at it and you can see what it's made of. Basically it is a suction cup mount, and the only reason why I found it interesting is that it is super sticky. They have like a sticky gel coating on the bottom here, and it tends to stick to things pretty decently. It's hard to, even without the suction cup on, to get it off too easily. So it has stickiness to it. It doesn't leave a residue, at least in this first impression review I've done of it. I haven't left it attached to something long term, so I can't say if it'll always be sticky free. But so far it hasn't left anything behind when I've taken it off. It secures fairly confidently there, and it does hold up pretty good. Now, to attach a phone, by the way, they say you can attach a bowling ball to this thing and keep it from falling. I don't have a bowling ball to test, otherwise I would do that in a heartbeat. But it does secure things pretty well. So we're going to try an iPhone 4S first. Now, the way it works is that you have this little thing you slide out here. It snaps into place. You then push the phone against the little button here, and that will secure the phone. And it does a pretty good job with thicker phones like this, especially with phones that have a case on it that aren't too slippery, and it tends to stay pretty nicely in there. It also very securely allows you to change the orientation of the phones. If you're running a navigation app and you want to go that way, you can do that, and it doesn't really flop around too much, so that's nice. And then it is pretty sturdy, like you can see here. It doesn't really bounce off, and it can hold the phone upside down, which is really pretty much the amount of weight you would normally have would be something like the iPhone 4S. It's probably among the heaviest of the phones you'd have on there. So that works pretty nicely. If you want to take the phone out, you just kind of reverse the action to put it in. Now, what I did find, though, is that the iPhone 5 tends to slip out for a couple of reasons. One is that the phone is so thin. I don't have a case on mine. I am an iPhone 5 purist, at least until I can find a case that I can live with. And what happens is that the phone just kind of slides on out. So if you're in a car and it's kind of bumpy, I could see this being a problem, that the phone will just kind of slide as you go. And that's a bit of a bummer, because you'd want it to kind of hold the phone better. You can really push it in a little bit further here, and that tends to make it a little bit better. But if you're always hopping in and out of the car, I could see that being a little bit of an issue there. So caveat for the iPhone 5 users. The other thing is that this will get dirty, although they say you can just wash it with water. No soap, just some water, and if you get the dirt off, it'll regain its stickiness, they say. So I haven't had it long enough to test that, but I am impressed with how well this is sticking to things. Sometimes when you're not expecting it to, it'll hold a pretty good stick on there, and you really got to pull on it to get it off. So that is the Easy Flex 3 from iOttie, and I was a little disappointed that my iPhone 5 was so slippery in this thing without its case. I think if you have a case, it'll probably do a little bit better, but because the phone is so thin, these kind of grip cases really don't do as well, just because there is so much room for the phone to wiggle out, given just how thin it is. The iPhone 4 did fit very nicely in there. I would imagine other larger phones like the Samsungs and the LGs and whatnot will probably do okay in here, especially because sometimes the sides of those phones have a little bit more grippiness to them. They have rigid plastic or something that doesn't slip as easily, so that might work. The only other thing that I noticed is that there's only a 90-day warranty on the product. I like to see companies stand behind their products a little bit longer than 90 days, so that's an area of concern. But generally, this is a market of really cheap products, and this one's actually a little bit better designed, so I'll give them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt there, but I would like to see a longer warranty and a better iPhone 5 fit. This is Lon.TV. Thanks for watching.